Can you tell me which square is brighter, A or B? B is brighter, right? Because B is the same intensity of gray as the other light gray squares, and A is the same intensity as the dark gray squares, right? So B is the brighter one, and A is the A is the darker one, B is the brighter one. So what if I were to remove the A and the B? Still looks about the same. What if I made one more change here, and I removed all the other squares? Which one is brighter? They're exactly the same, right? Well, just to prove it, let's look at it again. Okay, here it is together. Now I'm going to slide in from the side. Give it a moment. Which one looks brighter to you? Is it possible for you to force your eyes to see both of those squares as exactly the same gray? I mean, sometimes I've been able to do that. Sometimes I've been able to say, okay, I can force my eyes to see them as the same gray, but let's do it just one more time, okay? There it is without anything around it. Now it is with context, okay? Nothing around it. See, if you do that, I want to show you something here, that our eyes and our brain have been designed by God to work together in a particular way that basically says this: I trust the context more than my eyes. That's the way your brain works. If I see a shadow on something, I immediately think it's really brighter in reality. And so my brain tells me it's brighter in reality. And so my brain and my eyes are designed to work in a way that my brain controls what my eyes see by the whole system, the whole belief system. If I believe a color is brighter, that's what my eyes will see. I'll show you another optical illusion that just fascinates me. Okay? Here's good old Albert Einstein, but watch carefully as I shrink his face down. I'm not doing any computer tricks. I'm just shrinking his face down. Did you see it? Who is it? It's Marilyn Monroe, right? Now, if I bring it back up again, see how it becomes Einstein again? Can you guys in the back see both Marilyn Monroe and Einstein? Yeah, I was amazed at this. The original optical illusion just has this picture of Einstein, and I'm looking at it on my computer, and it says to me, now stand up and walk 15 feet away and look at your screen again. So I did that. I walked 15 feet away, and I looked back, and I was like, what? You know, it's just amazing to me that somehow that becomes Marilyn Monroe. Here's one more. If you've got epilepsy, be careful here. But take a look at that. Can you tell which lines are straight and which lines are curved? Is it possible? What if I were to come up here and put a shadow right there and walk all the way across? Right there. Can you see? Does it look straight? Does it? I mean, no matter how much I look at that thing, I know those lines are straight, right? I know they're straight, but they look like they're bulging to me in the center. Is that the same for you guys? See, this is the thing. Your brain and your eyes have been designed by God to work together in such a way that belief is more important than vision. What's in your head is more important than what you see with your eyes. And no matter how much you believe, no matter how much you try to affect that, there's an aspect of that whole system that is convincing your brain it's a circle, and convincing your brain it's bulging, and so your eyes see it that way. Knowing that belief colors the evidence. What do you think about this? It's the Loch Ness Monster, right? It's obviously a dinosaur. I mean, it couldn't be anything else. It's a dinosaur. Or this one right here. There you go. You know what I think it is? I think it's a ninja wearing fur. Can you see the eye slit right there? It's a ninja. Just, with some glossy sheen of fur or something. But yeah, that's the standard Bigfoot image taken from that video thing. And so we can look at that and we can say, okay, wait a minute. I know now that belief colors my perception. And so if I believe that thing is supposed to be Bigfoot, if I believe that thing is supposed to be the Loch Ness Monster, then it's totally going to look like the Loch Ness Monster. It's totally going to look like Bigfoot. And every evidence that I get is going to confirm that. If I believe something already, the evidence is going to support it, right? Well, what do you think about this? Is it possible that the same thing is true about the way we look at the Bible? That our belief about the Bible colors what we actually find in the Bible? I mean, that's a scary kind of thought, but there's good news and bad news here. The point that I'm trying to make is that we actually need a belief system in our lives in order for us to interpret the evidence that comes to us. We need belief. It's an essential component of how we were designed to work. And the only question left over is not whether or not I'm a believing kind of person or I'm a rational kind of person. The only question left over is, well, do I believe in the right thing? Do I believe in the right things? Is my belief system connected to reality? How do I determine that? Okay, so this leads me to my next point here. Number 2 about belief is that everything is belief. Everything is belief. Everything in your life eventually comes down to some belief that you have about it. And this is good news and it's bad news. See, the skeptics would look at Christians and they would say to us, and if any of you are in the skeptic kind of camp, that's cool with me. I'm not afraid of this whole concept, because many times the skeptics or the atheists would say to Christians or other spiritual or believing people, they would say things like this. They would say, because you have your belief system, there's no evidence I can give you that will contradict it. Because every bit of evidence I give you, you're just going to figure it out. For example, one of the accusations that the secular atheists have against Christianity is that for some of the Christians who believe in the young earth creation model, that God created the earth in 6 days and then rested, the Christians can say the earth looks old because God chose to make it look old. There's the Grand Canyon, and it's very deep, and it looks like it could have been cut by rivers because God chose to make the Grand Canyon pretty. And so he designed it that way. And the stars are 15 billion light years away, and God designed it. When he created the stars, he could create the light too. And that is a very valid point. If God has the power to create a star, he's got the power to create the light. He's got the power to create the light in transit so that it's already at us. Things like that. But the secular atheist would say something like, well, that's just taking the facts and twisting them and shaping them so they fit your belief system. And they use that as an accusation against those who would believe. And I don't know what your particular belief system is about the creation event, but what I'm trying to get at is that every one of us has belief, and we can be accused of misusing it, of twisting things to fit it. But here's the good news. The good news is everybody is like this, not just those